Hi, this is Amanda with Music Game Club, and I am so excited for today's video because I am combining two of our games to create one massive game. So you see here the game boards for Flamingo Flats and Shrimp Sharps. So in each of these games, you get 33 sight reading cards. So these are the Flamingo Flat cards, and then these are obviously the Shrimp Sharp cards. So what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle these cards together as you play the game. And you're going to play the game with all of these cards shuffled together. Then you will take all of the shrimp pieces from both games. There are 4 for Flamingo Flats and 4 for Shrimps. And you're going to put them on one side of the board. It really does not matter which side of the board is shrimp and which side is flamingos. And you will take the 8 flamingos, 4 from Flamingo Flats and 4 from Shrimp Sharps, and put them on the other side of the board. Now the general gameplay is exactly the same. Your game pieces will move forward or sideways, and then if you have them, you can jump forwards, or if they happen to be right here, you can jump sideways. You cannot jump onto one of the blocked places. The one thing that's different is that you can use the seaweed to warp to the seaweed on the other board and the rocks to warp to the rocks on the other board. So if this shrimp goes here, they could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which will be very convenient if there is an opponent they want to jump, but these pieces aren't close enough. So that is the only thing that's really different between the two of these. Now, the cards are the same way. You're going to identify how many cards are affected by the key signature. So how many sharps will there be in this excerpt? And the answer is 1, 2, and then you move forward 2 places. So yes, the backs of the cards will say Shrimp Sharps or Flamingo Flats, so they will be aware that they're getting a flat or a sharp card, but that really does not help them anyway to cheat and know how many sharps or flats are going to be featured. So you're going to draw a card. When you play Flamingo Flats, the flamingos go first. When you play Shrimp Sharps, the shrimps go first. So when you're playing them both together, you can just decide if you want the youngest student to go first, or if you want to roll a die to see who goes first, do a name picker. It really doesn't matter. Do whatever works for your studio. So we're going to say the flamingos go first. They're taller. Let's just choose them. And so you're going to pick a card. They're going to identify there's 2 sharps, and then they can move same as before. They can either move 1 piece 2 places, or they can move the 2 places divided between 2 pieces. Doesn't matter. Then the shrimp team picks a card, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4. They get to move forward 4. So we're going to just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the flamingos pick a card. 1, 2, 3. They get to move forward. 1, 2, 3, and the gameplay continues. Now, if you're playing this group, you could play this with as many as 16 students because there are 16 different game pieces. However, that would take a long time. So what you could do is whoever reaches the opposite end first wins. So that shortens the gameplay. Otherwise, if you have a lot of time, or if your students happen to be quick in identifying their sharps or their flats, then you could do it to where whoever has the most on the opposite end at the end of a timer wins, or whoever gets all their pieces on the other side first wins. And then, like with the regular play, you can decide if a piece is jumped, does it stay off the game, or do they get to reset it? So if you're playing a bunch of players and they each kind of have their little piece, it's probably a good idea to reset their pieces. But if you're playing with maybe 2 players or 4 players, and so each player has more than 1 piece, it might be a good idea to speed up the gameplay just to, if they're jumped, they're off the board, and then whoever ends up with the most on the opposite side wins. So it's very flexible in how you decide who wins, how they win, how long you play. The goal is primarily just to get your students reading through the note and acknowledging which notes are affected by the sharps and which ones are affected by the flats, and strengthening their sight reading in that way. You can watch my videos for Flamingo Flats and Shrimp Sharps individually. I've got a bunch of different gameplay ideas. Like, younger students could just identify how many accidentals are in the key signature and then move forward. So this, they would just move forward 1 because there's 1 flat there. They would move forward 2 because there's 2 flats. They'd move forward 1 because there's 1 sharp. Or there's sight reading activities you could do where they actually have to play it, and the amount of notes they get correct is how they move forward. There's a bunch of different gameplay ideas. So you can combine all the gameplay ideas that I do for the individual games in with the double gameplay. So find my videos on Flamingo Flats and Shrimp Sharps. Look those up if you want to get creative with even more gameplays. Each game comes with its own success poster. I found the flats in one, I solved the sharps in one, but since we're playing this together, we have created new success posters that you can get, which is Team Flamingo for the win and Team Shrimp for the win. And it has that it's both Flamingo Flats and Shrimp Sharps on both of these. So you can take pictures of the team that won, share it on social media. Please feel free to tag us at Music Game Club on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We hope you and your students have so much fun as they learn how to identify the sharps and the flats in this dual game, Flamingo Flats and Shrimp Sharps.